cited against me, and I started to delay my stream and cut out certain features to the software that I basically developed and designed centuries ago in reality for your brains and whatnot. So now they're just kind of isolating me and trying to violate me of my rights. So the stream is delayed a few seconds, and I'm going to repeat the broadcast message so everyone feels welcome. Whether I'm welcomed or not, it's kind of just my courtesy. Welcome to the show. Sorry, welcome back to the show. And for those of you just joining us, welcome to the show. Everyone else that was already here and returned, welcome back to the show. But legitimately, welcome to the show. Hope you guys enjoy. I am going to start off with a regular match since I kind of burned out all my time to switch over to my alt account. I already not recovered. I already collected everything for the day due to the fact that my stream or my cell phone wasn't letting me transfer accounts or anything, or I mean link accounts to my Facebook. I made it a whole new Facebook account, everything, and it wouldn't let me link it. It was having like an internal error. It was working before that, so I think that's what caused it. It was working before that. I started downloading all the other stuff. Android devices are completely glitched out and bugged out for me. So I think that was the main reason. Sorry, I had to get back that blue filter just in case you didn't notice the difference. I usually go to the share for deals and it recovers the blue filter that they add, or actually not the blue filter that they add, but I heightened it. I go into my settings and there's an accessibility option and you can choose what type of filter to add to your screen based off of whatever makes your eyes more comfortable to see in the display. For me, I personally am blue all over, blue all day. Blue is me, infinity is me, infinity blue is the actual blue. So I like that blue aspect and blue tint. So I added the blue tint and I went as close to the bluest I could get without having to modify the device coding and whatnot in order to get to the exact like highest point that they have, which I want to do, but I personally don't code. I have to find a coder to do all of this. So I mean, otherwise it's like really challenging to learn. It's like a year of work. It's like a month. Probably like a year's worth of work. But if you get the right courses, it's like a month to like a week. It's like a week to a month. Sorry, that's what I was trying to say. It's like a week to a month, possibly a day to get to like these source files, but not really to get to what I'm trying to get to. Because I'm trying to make like an increment scale type slider. And who's to say that it wouldn't go to like a higher value at one point or another? Because you can always hack and glitch everything. So that's just kind of my reason for saying like a year. Technically like a month in technicality with the way that they have most of these courses set up online. But sometimes it doesn't load up this blue filter or I mean the movie filter in the graphics style, graphics segment or graphics section in the settings and then style. I usually use movie every time. I have mine set up right now for HD and high since my device can deal with it. Personally, I usually go HD and sometimes low to deal with like the choppy game in order to keep the high graphics quality. But I used to go smooth and whatnot, but that's just like not really my preferred choice. It's like modern computing power should not be this stifled, so I know exactly what's happening. And it's not due to overheating, it's not due to any of these other scumbag like excuses. It's like, no, I'm alright. I don't deal with your garbage. So I'm not gonna succumb to like listening to a bunch of six-eyed lies. But that's kind of what happened. But that's why I get that's why I go to the share for deals section, or usually sometimes the profile will usually load it also. But for some reason it doesn't load it every time. I think it might be an armory glitch, or not just armory. It's from going out of the regular matches and then getting into the armory. It sometimes does it going into like inventory, or I think it might have been the workshop that sometimes does it. But I just realized that the armory breaks me free of it. Or I mean, switches it up. Yeah, and it's usually only like the share for deals tab that'll bring it back. See if Workshop does it. Workshop seems to maintain it. Inventory is still maintaining it, so not too sure what I'll do to revert it back after the share for deals section goes away. But it's legitimately one of the most annoying glitches I've dealt with my whole life. Like, so dumb, it's like crazy. Maybe the seasons tab. It seems to lag a lot less. I don't have like the actually. It's a mixture. The blue filter sometimes makes it lag less, but sometimes it's also like the red or the regular filter. But whoops, sorry. I think that might be because it's not loading in. I'm gonna check something else, so this might crash the stream. So my sincerest apologies if it does, and my apologies for my nasally sounding voice, and my like delayed speech. It's kind of due to the fact that I have these allergies and they're horrendous. Even if I pop pills for it, or any nasal sprays or anything, basically just cause more damage. It doesn't make it better, it just makes it worse. Gives me a headache, just bogs me out, ruins everything, doesn't even stop the nasal drip. It somewhat does a little bit, but it's not really good enough, so it's a waste. But either way, I'm going to show you guys another thing that cuts out like 90% of the lag, and it's not due to anything other than cutting out 90% of the lag, because this is how you can find out when the coding companies are lying to you about required specs and whatnot. You'll see the game run like a million times quicker and smoother. Oh yeah, and I have my nose clogged. That's why that's why my voice sounds all nasally and my speech is a little delayed. I usually go with the classic invert. You see how the character model now moves like at 50 frames per second / 60 frames per second faster? I'm not too sure if you'll notice it, but it, like off of the simple shoulder thrust and hip movements, I kind of am 100% gung-ho, always like on point to these things, because I always wanted to be like technically a fighter pilot / spy / frontline / Navy SEAL / the highest of the highest. So this is stuff that I don't fail on seeing. So it's just crazy and shocking, but it does. It's a drastic difference. I actually used to play like this sometimes, because you can see like on the ground. Oh whoops, I can notice the shadows a lot better now in this, but I would be able to notice the ground effects a lot easier. To turn on this setting, you have to go into your accessibility settings, and it's like the quick like there's a setting where you triple press in order to get into the accessibility shortcuts and whatnot. You just have to enable that. And my sincerest apologies for getting stuck saying and whatnot. I'll probably say it a lot more because I say like 500 words per second, so it sounds like I'm saying it like every 2 seconds, but it's really, in a regular speech, it would be like every half an hour. In my speech, it's like every 2 minutes. Sorry. And my apologies for the bad laughter. I tried not to laugh while also like dealing with my nose. Allergies are so horrendous. Alright, so off we go to the first match at Air Angel. I was going to switch it to something else, but I want Air Angel right now. I want to run Air Angel because of the DP28, I think is my main reason. I've been getting bogged out a lot. Every time I have this DP28 with this skin, it's like someone keeps like running up and like purposely like stream sniping me. They used to merge my networks, not networks, but my games. Sorry, they would swap out certain players to one host after another. They would like swap out like 50% of the crowd to other networks so that I didn't kill most of their kids for being in my stuff, but they still like would count it towards me. So it's the stupidest shit ever. It pissed me off. But it's like some of the worst issues to deal with just because you're of a higher knowledge or of a higher power or of a higher worth than everyone of this like supposed planet. I mean, and like I don't like to be a pompous person or like an asinine fool about it, but it's not my fault I'm better than you. It's not my fault I'm a good-hearted person that I ended up getting imprisoned by this whole society for all my to work for the rest of my life without pay and whatnot. It's not my fault. It's technically what the U.S. has me in. They have me in like a biodome. Borderlands 2 Sanctuary is the best example. Yo, bitches, I'm goated. Yo, pedophile faggot, shut the fuck up. This is North America. Talk English. You hear me, you fucking stupid dirty cunt? You talk English or I also beat the shit out of you every single fucking time, you pedophile piece of shit. And don't ever use my fucking face regardless of how you're using it, pedophile bitch. Don't use my face. Fucking dumbass faggot. These stupid ass pedophile pieces of shit thought it would be a fucking joke to be using my face in any single fucking point, because I used to use like a forward facing camera and I would look directly at my like lips / my face. Like, yeah, you looking so good, sexy. Like, total stuck by whatever dumb person was running a funny script, and it was just because they knew that they could get into my head / also be like cool / not cool / they'd stab me in the back, but it like works both ways / as long as I stab you in the back to where you're like on my side for the rest of your life, like, I know I can take care of you, bro, without being a dick or a faggot or like a homosexual. Maybe. I think I bit off way more than I could chew. It's legitimately what I got from a few like heavy hitters in like in the US a few times. Through like astral projections, lucid dream states, and just six-sad realities that no one will claim is real. But they'll claim that they use them themselves to fuck people's wives and rape them and whatnot of their sanity. While their husbands aren't home, they also even break into their houses and they rape them. They rape their wives. It's considered rape because your wife would not really be out in the open at all. Like, if you really learned the higher structures and whatnot, it's just the U.S. that polluted the rest of like the greater known galaxy with their six-sad pedophilia roaming around throughout everyone. Not to be a dick or a jerk or anything, but that's just what happens. Oh, what? Would it be cool if they let me back into like the other stuff where they used to tag these, like, they used to jump off the building, used to tag like the back of it with their foot, and then bam. Wonder where these guys are at right now. See, I remember this script. Right after I say it, it like totally triggers a repressed memory that they have them hiding in or something. No way. Probably like right on the nip then. Oh, no way. Probably won't even get an M24 kill. Oh, no way. This bot wouldn't even die. This is how they tried delivering me the AR that they supposedly tried murking from my network. The AR structure and the algorithm setup for the RNG, whether or not it causes damage or not, like whenever you go from one network to another, one group, which means one match to another even, they'll alter the dynamics of each and every single weapon, each and every single attachment, and each and every single like number base, number sequence, regardless of what it is in this game. Suppressors in most realities usually used to actually deal more damage. They used to increase the pressure that the barrel would cause and shoot out the bullet, almost like a blow-off valve on a turbo system for like a high-end exotic vehicle, such as like a 1998 Supra with dual twin turbo boost. If you do it right with someone like me, you can get like 10 to 15,000 horsepower like pretty quick and easy off of the right well, actually I won't release my trade secrets and whatnot, but I mean that's like actually we could probably do a few hundred thousand but I wouldn't really let someone in this country have like that much.
And I think that vehicle would be completely warped after that much horsepower or something. It would warp it. I think it's because of the body style and the driving dynamics that most people get. I think that's why I hit those break points last time. But I mean, you can hit a few 100,000 easily off of my setups. That's why they're like prized throughout these greater known galaxies and whatnot. But this game's back from like way before I was born. Supposedly, I'm like 60 years deep into this court case, into this court trial, and whatever person they had in prison that was being fed fecal matter for like a good quarter of a century. And the only way they got back into society was by like catering services, and they finally were able to regurgitate the feeling to these people by feeding them fecal matter. That's supposedly how they had me brought back. It was kind of a bad joke, but I mean, that was like the worst of the worst extent. Like after years and years of trying to find or triangulate their location and whatnot, they were never really able to. And then by the time they triangulated it, the guy's like 1,000+ years old, looking like he's in his early 20s. One of the coolest people. Or late 20s. But that's supposedly how the U.S. got created. That's why that pedophile known as George Washington ended up going bald. They thought it'd be a joke to be holding legal trials regardless, and they ended up losing their hair as a result. Because they signed nothing but like bad treaties, bad systems, and whatnot. Even the fucking the Napoleon bitch lost all his hair. Napoleon person. Napoleon Bonaparte, I think is what his name was. Was one of their heaviest like allies at the time that they ended up, or not allies, one of their heaviest sources of like remedial policies and whatnot. You rape their wives, you rape their family, that's just the shit that happens. Type setup. I forgot where I was going with this. I'm too old for this. I'll be back in a few hours. Get the fuck out of here, faggot. That was on my way out. Can't sue me. It was like a bad joke that I memorized. I think it was just over the fact that he got so raged out as he was like leaving a room. Get the fuck out my way, faggot. I don't even remember who the fuck you. Whoops. I'll say it to all of them. You best learn how to be just like me, like he told me to learn to teach all of you. Because if that was the only good point to my personality, that I stuck to it to these points, and that's just your fault, not mine. Like, lack of a freaking accent on this one, but yeah. Hey, you didn't even give me my French accent. See? I'm gonna kill you and your family. Never mind, you're probably one of the good ones. It was some garbage like that. I forget exactly like the whole thing, but it was just hilarious. But they're all a bunch of worthless sacks of shit that pissed me off, that never paid me. And these countries like gained a lot of money. I mean, look at the drag racers that they had back in the days of the Prohibition era, pushing 135 horsepower, over 3,000 to 4,000 pounds per vehicle, and they were going at 300+ miles per hour, 0 to 60 in like 5 point something seconds, with only like 130 horsepower. Nowadays, you have to get like 300 to 400 horsepower for a 2,000 pound vehicle. Like, what in the world, bruh? What kind of sick, sad, stark reality check shit is this? This is legitimately how I keep going with life, though. I'll never make it out of here because of how much shit that happens and how much stuff I end up having to prove, but it is what it is. This country will never really pay me or honor me in the way that I should have been paid and honored, because at the very beginning I was still busy. So I was like, you know what, give me a few seconds. By the time we have time for that, I'll probably be dead, or hopefully crying because it will be the most joyful day of my life, I think is what I intended to say. The most joyous day, I think. The most joyous day of my life, I think is what it is. But the most joyful experience, actually, you know what? It'll be the most joy brought to my life is what it was, actually. I think is what it was. Because I'll probably be crying, or if not, or I'll be crying because it'll be the most joy that I've experienced in my life. Finally being done with this. Finally making it out. Finally being able to stop all the torture that all these idiocratic pieces of shit ran around causing throughout everything and all my stuff. And then they polluted a few people because they had a better chance at everything than everyone else. So jealousy is what basically wrought this country's reality. Sorry. I think it was something around the fact that it was like joy, the most joy that I'll ever experience in my life. I think that's what it was. The most joy that I'll ever experience in my life. The most joyful moment of my life is what I was thinking. I think that's why it always comes out wrong. I always say it wrong, and they always try to stipulate it to one quote type setup. But it's like, I really don't like quotes. I never really say the right thing when I have to. And I sure as fuck never really care for any of the people that try to stipulate anyone to it. / I deal with it. / if it happens, it happens. / I avoid it. Possibly in a few minutes. If you want to join me, it'll probably be after this match. I'll definitely add you. I don't mind. You can definitely add me. Goated is my name change now. I'd heard the word a few years ago, but then this little kid started saying it again, and I was like, oh man, that was such a dope word. Mainly with a person like me, because I provoke the truth out of everything that they get pissed, and I provoke people to death that I get the truth regardless of what they wanted to give me. So it like almost hit. I don't think I was getting chased, so I think I might just be doing this like haphazardly. But you can definitely join me. I've been playing the whole survival setup right now. Been doing more or less just like looting pirate crates, but I always zone out. I'll zone out. Yeah, thank you. I've been trying to get a lot of dubs lately, but I haven't been able to get more than 10 this season. 600 matches, I think. Or 400 matches now, and just 10 dubs. I think I'm almost at 500. I think by the end of the day, I might even be close to it. Sadly, like I'm actually like stressing out. Like I'm just like, I'm being hit with so much stress. I'm even being caused to like be in angst, like way too much anxiety that I'm like, I mean, I can deal with anything, regardless of what I'm stacked against, but it's just like, if it's pointless, that's what bogs me down. That's what causes the stress. I'm like, dude, this is like pointless suffering. Like, this country's never gonna pay me. These people are never gonna pay me. No, that's cool. I'm just saying. So, I mean, I've been focusing on dubs. This is kind of like towards everyone. I'm generalizing this as to why I'm doing this like boring type stream. But it's kind of epic. It's like kind of enjoyable. My bad. I didn't know it was a flare drop. Thought it was a regular one. I'm gonna try to pick these kids off. I knew I was off to the side a bit too much, but they'd probably see my bike. They're probably already gone. That's the worst part. That's the worst feeling. Oh, no way. Dang it. This is so lame. Bunch of nubs. Total rating +0 just because I got run up on by a bunch of garbage. GG. Dude, this is so lame. I'm so mad. 50-50, a little too frustrated to be alive, but yeah. Oh, and it not only mean I've only have like 10 dubs like total. This is in squads primarily. Level upgraded level 8 to level 9 for my Victor character. So now my ammo rush is at 10%, which is I think the max. Sorry. Victor's firearm expertise reduces reloading time when wielding a SMG. Reduces SMG reloading time by 10%, max, and that's that. And he even says it. Alright, hold on, give me a few seconds. If possible, actually, I don't even care if you type anything. I can just scroll through it now. I forgot there's an easy way. I coupled all my notifications, so it's less of a hassle. Don't have to scroll through the first page and think that it's going to crash my stream like it used to. Coupling the notifications I figured would do it also, and it still kind of does. It just doesn't do it as frequently. I think because it doesn't have to like preload and reload all the data right off the bat. With disk read and write speeds, I guess that's probably why. It seems like these are refurbished, which I'm pretty sure these are refurbished flash drives and flash memory. Alright, so here, we're at the last week of the Royale Pass. I forgot to let everyone know because there's only 3 days left. Oh, whoa, and this sucks. The reason I forgot to let people know is also because I don't buy into this, but you're at a 10 per day daily limit, so my sincerest apologies. But I did state it on the last week, you're gonna get this, but it's 10 per day daily limit, and it's at 65 UC, so you're getting a 35 UC discount. It'd be cool if I could just load the chat on my cell phone. But it doesn't let me, and I keep forgetting to message Mob Crush. This is like a year later. I think I probably did. You know what? I zoned out when I was going to do it. And now I'm just like at a very, very remedial point. This guy's image is super dope and fresh. That's by far one of the freshest, most epic images ever. Alright. I'm going to hopefully be able to copy and paste that number. Huh. You know what? I'm hopefully just not going to get bad. Sorry. I'm actually going to just do this on my cell phone. Not on my cell phone. I'm gonna bust out a notepad. Actually, I'm gonna bust out a Google search. 558-395-960.
Showing pictures that match.
Sorry. I don't like Siri anymore, and I've always totally dug my Google Assistant because it actually knows how to type out everything I say. It has a better voice algorithm and everything. As I stated, it's probably due to me. There's an infinity of searches out there, but only a Google of good ones. Or sorry, only a Google of good searches. I think that's how I got stuck the last time. I think it's because I'm still trying to figure out how I rewrote it, but it was off of that last error, off of a Google of good ones. Because I was thinking in my head like, how would I rewrite that? How would I reword that to where it sounds super dope and epic? And then Google was like basically made. But I think like, oh, it was a million of good ones, and then it just transitions to every single different system because Microsoft used it for a few centuries, and now Google plagiarized everyone, so they're like, well, I should get a good probably should get a good chance. If it's really the people that were being betrayed, well, regardless, everyone should get a good chance. Not really. Not if it's a bunch of criminals. Huh, they already had a good chance. Slash, probably violated me of a good chance. Alright, so I dropped this guy an ad. So, oh wait, so no, never mind then. No. They shouldn't have a good chance. Those are part of the groups that already violated everyone of their good chance. But, oh, okay, so back to the point. Goated? Oh, man. So, either way, super fresh. I just forgot what I was saying. I can't really technically rewind my stream while it's live through any of the platforms fast enough for me to figure it out, so I never really zone out and bother. And it wastes my data, my mobile my mobile hotspot data. I'd rather use that for gaming or gaming purposes. Dude, how'd you not find me? Oh, whoa. I guess I got the wrong number. You must have given me the wrong number then, or did I type it out wrong? What? Now it's just not showing it? Huh?